It was called "Fat Girls Please Me."
I got rejected by all the fat girls on my pop the balloon thing.
What were you? Did you do that?
Yeah.
You did pop
the balloon.
For under who?
Wait, what is that?
It's like where you're just like a lineup of like women, and you come out, and then you're just basically being judged if they want to go out with you.
Oh, you ever
see? Yeah, there's like different variations of it. Yeah, I was on that one. I was on the BBW episode.
How funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What happened?
Well, there's a couple reasons. Like one was I said I wanted 12 kids, and they're like, hell no, we're not doing that. Well, I mean, they were asking me. I'm like, 12 is a good number, so.
That's a lot of love, bro.
You know what though? I got a lot of love to give. You know what I mean?
How about you try one kid?
0.
Okay.
So I gotta get to work. Yeah, because you can have like one every month. You know what I mean? Now we got all months covered. You can celebrate every month, which is cool.
You could have one every day with a different chick.
Dude, that dude Stefan Diggs, man. He's
I mean, if
got all these girls pregnant right now.
If someone wanted to do that, I'm not opposed to it.
With 12 kids?
Like Nick Cannon.
Well, no, DMX has more. DMX has like 15.
What?
So no, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Honest to God, you want 12 kids?
Well, as many as I can have. Like 12 is a good number, but as many as possible.
How old are you now?
I'm 36.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still with that?
No.
What happened?
Well,
I mean, if you don't want to talk,
just,
like I know we're on air, but
you
don't have to bring it up. I mean, I want to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it. I mean, I'm not going to go into like
because there was
detail about it.
From our conversations, you expressed to me she made you better.
Oh yeah.
And that was the first time I've ever heard you say something of that nature.
It's funny, like, relationships are very complicated. You know what I mean? It's just like there's like opposing forces when you are if you're like a guy that's like trying to build up and go after it, and a woman's really in love with you. Her whole thing is like, let's settle down, like right now. I'm getting all these like opportunities. I gotta like go for that. So there's I would say the best way to put it would be like lifestyle not in alignment. Lifestyle, she wants different things than I want, so.
What, did it cause problems?
Oh.
So, I mean,
to
what extent?
Well, it's just because, like, I don't think a lot of women want their man putting themselves out there like that for the most part.
But you're also a different human being. Like,
I am a different
you are
being.
Two different people, right?
Yeah.
You are the guy that needs to put it on, and then you
are
my friend, right?
It's two different people. On camera's a different person. That's just how it is. Like, you can't let everyone have everything. You know what I mean?
You can't give up who you are and your passions.
That's why it's like you're going to be on board on my thing, or you're not on board.
Exactly.
It just causes a lot of it's hard because like you're trying to focus and then you're trying to balance this thing over here, and your energy becomes very split, and then everything suffers. You know what I mean? Like the stuff you're working on suffers, your relationship suffers. It's very difficult.
When I was building Red Light and the music awards and No Cover, I was seeing my wife now.
Yeah.
I was seeing her. And, man, she got online one time and go, hey, that's it. Either you can't deal with this and I need to be by myself, or you just need to be supportive. And I'm going to build. I go, you trust me? I promise you, I'm going to make you proud of me. And I did. And guess what? I never heard anything about that ever again. But I let her know that it was fucked up. I said, this dream means more to me than our relationship.
Well, it's just the reality because it's like,
I mean, it really is to me.
It's
like, I feel so bad.
Well,
like,
because
I was that blunt with her. I said that to her
I
face.
basically said something very similar. Look, I've been working on this basically my whole life. I've been trying to be like an artist like basically my whole life on and off, and I finally got some real opportunity to do it for real. It's like, there's no way that I'm stopping now.
This person is going on a journey with you on your journey, or not at all.
But it just comes down to like women want the stability. You know what I mean? They want to know for sure that this is the one. This guy's doing it for real, not the unknown. The unknown is making them uncomfortable, and then because they're uncomfortable, like your emotions.
Did you make her secure in the relationship? Because that's also a thing that women need.
Oh, yeah.
And I made it abundantly clear.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. But you already know all the stuff that I've been doing.
So you can do that shit and still make her feel secure, bro.
Trust me, I know. But when a woman really loves you, they don't like seeing that. No woman likes seeing that. You know what I mean? They don't like having other women around their man. Like, that's not a thing.
I don't know, man.
I
I think that's
I don't know.
I come to think about it, she wanted to fight some people a few times.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
think, I,
Yeah, but you gotta be
okay,
fighting
I
on
mean-
that business, you know.
I mean, the reality is like you're probably more attractive to her, but she doesn't like it. That's you got to be a very secure woman to be able to do that, and like that's not an easy thing to do, even for guys. A lot of guys can't even handle dating a beautiful woman because of that very reason. They're just like way too insecure. So
right.
it comes with the territory.
That whole cycle is fucking so vicious, too.
It is vicious, but my whole thing is like, if I'm dating an attractive woman, you think that I'm the only guy that finds her attractive? Like, that's insane, right? But I have to confidently go in like, hey, she chose me, so I must be good enough. And it is what it is. If some other guy's going to swoop in and take her and she takes off, then it's not the woman for me. That's like low quality woman.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I'm not really too concerned about that, because if they take off, she did me a favor
Exactly.
at the end of the day.
They have like so little self-respect,
So-
and not in just showing your body weight, but the way you handle yourself as a lady and the way you handle yourself in relationships. I'm talking about someone very specific in a very specific day.
Like, they're not respecting themselves. They don't respect their partner.
Bro,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
they'll go in like to
disrespect
get back
is-
at somebody, they're gonna fuck somebody else.
I mean, but that's
Like,
like,
what-
you're
why
not
is
really.
this?
That's not getting back at someone. You're only like,
You're
how
hurting
is-
yourself.
How is letting someone use your body getting back at somebody to me? That's like literally the
Yes.
most crazy thing. It's
You
like,
gotta respect yourself to respect your partner.
Because
So
it's
that
like-
comes first.
but a lot
This
of-
is very frequent though in,
like
in
that's a
dating world.
that's a common thing. Men do it too. Like, what's the common thing they go like, oh, to get over a woman, you gotta get under another one, some stupid shit like that. And it's like,
That's stupid.
well, look, that's glorified masturbation at the end of the day, because it's like you're just doing it just to go like, yeah, I'm desirable. See,
That's immature.
I'm desirable.
It's
but-
also to try to in some of these relationships, men get beat down,
Oh,
And
for
so-
sure. Oh, for sure.
and it's because of them they decided to do this. So to make themselves feel some sort of self-worth again, they need to go and be desired by another human
Well,
being.
I agree, but
And that's not good.
no, but that's because a lot of guys, they put everything on halt that they were doing before they got into the relationship.
Yes.
So maybe they were like,
fucking losers.
maybe they were like going to the gym, they were working on their projects and all this kind of stuff. And then you start dating a woman and she's interested in you, and you're like, oh, finally, I got a girl that's interested in me and she wants to spend time with me. And then over time, as she falls more in love with you, she wants to spend more and more of your time together. Like, literally, you can give her 24 hours a day, she'll take it all. Or you can give her 5 hours a day and she'll take that. You know what I mean? So the guys don't know how to go like, hey, I still need to go work on all my stuff. They just go like, let me just chill and watch Netflix with my girlfriend. Because I mean,
that's their insecurity. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
we're
I got one.
comfortable.
I can just stop progressing in life.
Yeah, well, what sounds like a better time? Like, I'll just use like stuff that I do, for example. What sounds like a better time? Me hopping in a cold plunge and then going and training for 4 hours at the gym, doing all my like circus stuff, or sitting at home, eating some snacks and watching Netflix. Like, what sounds more fun? You know what I mean? I do find
knew
that
you were
fun,
gonna
but
say
it's just
that.
like most guys are gonna go for, especially it's like cold out, it's like winter time. You know, the last thing I want to do is like hop in a 30-degree like pool. They're gonna go like, I'd rather just chill and go watch whatever new show is on and just binge watch that and eat terribly. And she'll be like, hey, let's get some, dessert or whatever. And you'll be like, okay. And then over time, you just like totally fall off your whole program. And then she's like,
if you let
gross.
It,
Yeah, this is not the dude I fell for.
Well, that's why do you think people have dead bedrooms?
yeah.
Because like, look at yourself, go take a look in the mirror and go pull up an old photo of you. It's like, look at how you look, man. Like, would you want to get with you?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Would you tear your own clothes off? Like, absolutely not. Like, you're soft now. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens. It's like, and you'll naturally soften the more you hang out with a woman. It just is what it is. Like, you end up being around like the people that you spend time with, you know?
I've worked a lot of projects, right? Magazine, shows, podcasts. That's always the thing that makes me love life, right?
Yeah.
Is the unknown, like to know that I'm capable of
I
something.
like
and,
that too. I like the challenge like that, you know?
I've worked alongside with a lot of great people. And what I've noticed a lot, 80% of people, they're just looking for companionship. They're not really
Yeah.
looking to have,
I agree with
and-
that. Well,
and once they find that companionship, they're willing to let all their dreams go.
yeah, it's just called having just enough comfort to go like, I'm chill, you know. And it's funny thing too. It's like the whole thing is mid, to be honest with you. Like what they're doing with their life doesn't make them excited. They're dreading Monday. The person that they're with, they're like, not really the ideal person because they're still lusting over other people. Because they wouldn't be doing that if they were like really into their partner. Because they settled because they're like, this is better than nothing, and I don't want to do all that extra work that it takes to make myself attractive enough for the woman to actually want me that I want. You know what I mean? Because like she's gonna hold me to a different standard.
And those standards,
Yeah.
they make guys really insecure.
Well, it's true. Like, you know, the feminine is very powerful. Look, it makes guys do all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's probably why they make guys have made all kinds of rules to try to control it because like it's like so over. I'm just being honest with you because they can't handle it. You know?
I've been driven crazy by one female one time in my life.
Yeah, it happens.
And I was like, never again. Dude.
I know.
Like I need to. I retreated inside. I didn't go and fuck chicks.
Yeah, you don't do that.
I went and I just worked on myself and I said, no drinking.
Yeah.
No smoking. You fucking concentrate on what you have to do. There's no excuses. You need to go and fuck shit up. And that's what I said to myself. And guess what? I didn't go on the internet. I didn't drink for years. I didn't smoke for years. And I didn't make no excuses for myself. And I allowed myself to suck.
Well, that's okay because it's like, that's how I am. I'm like, I don't care that I'll do something cringy because like it's my first time. How am I going to get good? And it's like you can sit there and make fun of me all you want, but you're still in the same position you're in. And I'm all the way over here now because I tried some stuff. And I wasn't afraid if people got a short memory, they're going to forget that I sucked. And even if they do bring it up, I'm like, what person that ever did anything, you can't pull up some old stuff of them that sucked. You know what I mean? It's just part of it. You don't know what you're doing. But you know what's so funny about what you were saying right now? I was laughing because you're like, you're a piece of shit. You're a loser. That's how guys talk to themselves. Women are like, you're a queen. You're killing it. You're the most amazing person ever. Guys are like, you fucking suck. Your bloodline is going to end with you.
Literally in my dialogue.
That's a fact because guys need that.
I can't be comfortable. I can't say, oh, you're good. Oh, I'm good?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Good. No, fuck you.
That's the thing. Like a masculine energy, a guy that's very in his masculine loves to overcome challenges. That's just how it is. They
love it.
They love it.
Every
they go
day.
like, I can't wait to see what this challenge is. Like, this fucking sucks, but I'm like doing it anyways.
And
you know what I
you
mean?
feel it right here. You feel like, oh shit, the uncomfortable feeling. Like right before you're about to do it. You feel that and you're like, oh, I'm gonna suck. This shit's horrible. You think of every possible scenario and you go the worst possible scenario. You don't look at the best possible scenario. You know.
I've trained my brain to detach from any scenario.
I know it's hard. That's hard though.
Nah,
But
I can't. Because then I won't talk shit to myself.
No, I gotta live in the anxiety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta be like, it's fuel. Well, because I always look at like these emotions. They're there for a reason, obviously. It's like this discomfort. It's telling me I gotta move because that's why I'm feeling this discomfort. That's why you don't want to numb it out too much because then you just don't do anything. So when you feel that discomfort, you gotta go like, okay, I need to act because this is why I'm feeling this way, not wallow in my misery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy to wallow in your misery because you just want to go on there and go like with the guys, for example, like the women suck. The women are terrible.
Isaac.
They,
That's what he was like. You know what? Never date. He was like, don't date women with kids.
Don't, you know. And here's the thing. It's like, dude, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, anyone that you know that's in a high quality relationship, are they on the internet going, it's all the men's fault. It's all the women's fault. Finger pointing. It's like the most unaware person that lacks like the most self-awareness when they go and just like complain about the opposite sex on the internet.
Eventually, you realize that I'm picking the wrong people.
Yeah,
you're looking at you look at the result. Like I want to be this at this point.
Yeah,
I want to be in that point, but you don't make the map till after the relationship's over.
Well, the thing,
like when you go in, like, all right, and we went and talked about this on the show. What Isaac does, he goes and lies to women. He doesn't lie to them. He makes them believe that he's a bigger deal than what he really is.
What does he do? He goes like, hey.
He talks himself up.
Yeah, radio show.
I don't like.
I was an actor. I'm on YouTube.
I'd rather have them not know. I'd rather have a woman know way less. I don't want to go and like. Because that's the thing that I find, like, what I don't like to do, you know, I'm like, look, I'm trying to be on a date. I'm trying to have a good time with you. Why do I want to talk about work right now? if you find it interesting, maybe we'll answer some questions. But like, do you want to talk about your job?
Isaac
feel like-
also, he freaking photoshops himself at these events.
Like a red carpet event?
Just certain events.
Do people fall for that?
Yes.
But you know what?
He talks as if he's there in the
Well, here's
comments.
the
Oh, he got this
reacting.
girl that cheated on him.
Well, you get what you deserve then at that point.
Sort of.
Because it's like you're.
He is
lying.
himself, but he's also not himself. So he's leading her on in certain directions that she thinks that the relationship's going to go. And then when she realizes, oh, this is not who he described himself to be, and then they withdraw
See,
themselves.
that's too much work. That's too much work. I don't like
But
that.
this routine happens over and over.
He's doing it
and
wrong.
over.
That's his
For
karmic
the
loop.
past 7
That's his
relationships,
karmic loop. He has
it's
to get
the
out of
same
that.
thing.
I know. But here's the thing. He's
And I'm
missing.
the asshole for bringing it up.
Does
Well-
he notice his own pattern?
Is
Yeah,
he,
he
so-
finally noticed it this one time. He was like, I was like, go stop dating the same type of girl. The tattoos, the girl who has multiple kids, the girl who's
he's taking
just
what he can get.
at the bar every weekend. No,
Well-
he wants the party girl for good sex.
Look,
He's trying to make that girl.
Is that it?
what, a regular girl can't have good sex? Like, that doesn't make any
That's what I'm
sense.
telling him. You don't have to have crazies to have good sex.
It's called ease. He doesn't want to do any work. And he's like, oh, the party girl's got low standards because she's fucked up, basically.
But is it really he doing any work with all these lies?
No, but
It's even more work.
But I
That's
agree
just
that's
not
more work,
having
and
to
that's why he's
lie.
getting the result that he's getting because, like, my whole thing, and I've lived by this all my life and how I got into all the relationships I've gone into, it's, number one, I only go for women that like me. That's rule number one is they have to like me. I'm not chasing after anyone just because I find you attractive. If you have no interest, you don't find me attractive, you want nothing to do with me, that's cool. We're just, hey, you know
but
what I mean?
you also make yourself known to that person.
But it's like, I'm not going to, like,
You're not there throwing yourself, but you're
No.
letting her be your friend.
yes.
Hey, my name is Pat.
Yeah.
This is what I'm into.
I'm not trying to sell
You're not
myself,
pushing it.
You know what I mean? Because it's like if she likes me, then she's gonna want to get to know me more, and she'll make it known. It's like very natural. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna let you know. You don't gotta go over there and like talk a big show. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
I'm surprised Isaac does that.
Right? He's come to notice that he has a problem with women because of how his mom viewed him.
yeah,
And his mom was very judgmental to him.
yeah,
And so he doesn't want to have to deal with that heartache again.
yeah.
So he needs to be in control of the situation.
Well, he needs to go heal. From
And
that,
so
is
what-
what he needs to do.
So what he's doing for him to heal or to be in control, he sets the narrative.
yeah, but
So
it's-
he knows exactly the course of the relationship.
But that doesn't. You can't do that because you're not dealing with an AI. You're dealing with an actual human. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not saying it's right.
because it's like
He's
you,
a dickhead.
it's just like she's got her own like sentience and she can do her own thing. You can't tell her what to do. You
No,
know
he's
what I
not
mean?
telling her what to do, but he knows how to program for the
So
outcome he
so
wants.
he's trying to manipulate her, basically.
That's
mean-
why he got cheated on.
Yeah,
And
it's-
you
that's
know what?
exactly- that
It's
makes
gonna-
Yeah,
sense.
manipulation
and it's
is-
gonna keep
that's
happening to him
manipulation.
until he chooses to do the right thing. It's gonna keep looping.
Well,
and looping
he
and
needs
looping.
to do the go into look in the mirror and be like, I'm a piece of shit, and then
Yeah.
work on
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking
But
about.
he does have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll do that. He'll go work on himself and then get back in your karmic loop. And that's
Yeah.
crazy that you knew that it was a loop before I said it was a loop.
Well,
Because I just
we
went
are
through my-
naturally pattern animals. You know what I mean? We all fall into patterns all the time. Like, if you keep getting the same result, it's not like it's just magic that this is happening. You know what I mean? It's because you're simply doing something. And that's the funny thing that I realized even about myself. I started like just doing different things and I started seeing all
Mhm.
kinds of different results. It really
Yep.
opened up my eyes to being
Yeah.
like, oh, it's so funny that no one ever thinks to do something different.
That's how you ascend, but you have to be aware enough to figure out your own patterns.
It's easy
and
to
how
see other
do
people's
differently.
patterns. It's like very difficult to have enough self-awareness to see your own pattern and then not judge yourself for it and go like, I'm going to just change it up.
But I believe he is. And what makes me think that, I mean, but also he can lie to me because he knows what I want to hear. He
But
knows
it's like he's only lying to himself if that's the case because it's not doesn't matter to you.
he's not going to look for these women and the same places he's been looking for them.
Yeah.
He's going to go to different clubs and try different things.
That's
and-
not a place to meet a girlfriend. I'm just going to be honest with you. A club?
like a church, Bible club.
Oh, Bible.
Bible
So,
club. I could've
so now
said
he's
a
doing the
club right
whole
there.
thing, and I've seen this a million times, and I'm not trying to judge people that are into this, but you see this so often. A reformed fuckboy rolls in to a Bible
Life.
club that has reformed hoes, I don't like using these terms, but it's like the only way to really describe what's going on. And they're both quote unquote reformed, but they're both not really reformed. They just want to, it's performative. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you were really reformed, you would see the fraud that the other person truly is. You can't be going to a Bible club saying that you change your way and then going to the bar on the weekend.
That's what I'm saying. That for a guy that's seen him do the same pattern over and over again, this is the one time I'm seeing something different.
So what he should do though is, if he was serious, he would join a Bible club that was like a men's group, not the co-ed thing, because it's like, that's how you know for sure you are not, if you're in a men's group, you're not going to be like low key like looking at the cute girls.
True.
Because like, let's just be real, like that's what happens. They go like low key, I'm trying to study the Bible, which is great, but then also, well, she's kind of cute though, so maybe I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing here. I'm like making eyes with her.
That's true. Has he tried just being single? Like, maybe
I
that's
tried to
what he
convince
should
him.
do?
I was like, dude, take 3 months to yourself.
At
I
least,
tried
at
to.
bare
I was
minimum.
trying. I was like,
Bare
I said a
minimum.
year, and he was like not having it.
Why not?
I said just 3 months. Then.
That's where the issue is. He
Yeah.
can't hang out with himself and be alone. He's never gonna find the right person.
I mean, I like my alone. Personally, I have my schedule's
You-
full enough already. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
I'm like the opposite. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
But-
This is gonna take a lot of my time.
You know what I mean? It does.
Yeah, of course.
But like maybe it's okay not to. Like you're not missing out on much.
Well,
right?
are you really missing out if you're having sex and being intimate with a woman you're not really that into? Like, are you really missing out?
you're just really serving your body.
'Cause
at that.
that's how I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I'm not into you, it's like, could I go through the motions? Sure, I could go and I can be like, oh, I can boost up my ego and be like, oh, see, I hooked up with someone. But it's like, it's not doing for me. Like, absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, it just took my time. She took my energy. I don't feel good about it because, like, that's not someone that I would want to do.
I know this sounds sort of like as a masculine dude, like saying this, but when I had, there's two parts of my brain here. So,
Of course.
but my other side, I feel not dirty, but I feel my light dimmed
It
when
is.
I have a random fuck. My other thing is like, oh fuck yeah, I just did that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope. And then, but like when it's quiet, when my brain quiets down, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're pretty. That's not.
Well, because
what-
it's like you just gave someone, I mean, really, it's your life force. You just gave them your life force, and they kind of just like stole that from you, and you stole it from her. It's kind of
Yeah.
like you basically used each other at the end of the day. It's not like, because when you're with someone that like you really have a real connection with, and you're intimate, you feel like so energized because like
Mhm.
it's like you're merging in a way. But like when it's not that, you're actually disassociated in the act. You're not really there, but you're there. I notice like a lot of guys that are like this are just like thirsty and lonely. Like they don't have a lot of options. So they're like, when they get one, they want to fucking tell everyone about it and point it out and like brag about it because they don't ever get any opportunity. Because that's just the reality. Like, you know how it is. Most guys don't get any love.
Yeah.
It's like a small percentage of the guys that get all like the
Is that
female
true?
attention.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
it's very sad. This is why you,
don't
have
even notice
guys
it.
flipping out the way they do.
Yeah,
And this is another reason why there's hierarchy amongst males. Because
there is.
the dudes that don't get it, there's a thing about them that it's almost like a disease or something in their
Yeah.
head.
It is a disease.
They
That's
feel
what
like
it's
they're
for.
not good enough. They feel that they're a lower standard. And those are always the butt of our jokes. We fuck with those dudes. As men, we fuck with them. They're, like, oh, blah, 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 that's gay. Just like you. Ah! Like, they are always
It's a thing.
in
It's the
the
hierarchy in action.
the good thing is the men, they check that, right? They check each other.
Yeah.
But the dudes that don't have that are the dudes from Virginia Tech,
Yeah.
are the dudes from Columbine
Yeah, they're so obsessed they're
with
like-
pussy.
It's so funny. It's like they don't even realize, like, see, guys that think that way, you don't realize that, like, your internal, what's going on inside your brain, people are picking up on that, like, subconsciously.
it.
They feel it. They go like, that dude's weird as fuck. You don't know that the guy's a psychopath. It's just
Yeah.
he thinks so many disturbed thoughts that it comes out in his whole
In his
vibe,
conversation,
in his whole, like, way he
Yeah.
moves.
there was a dude in our group. We checked him, right? He couldn't get pussy. He was always trying to get pussy. He was, and then
Sorry.
he thought there was something wrong with him, so they put him on medication.
I
And
mean,
he smoked weed, then he would get crazy and like
Yeah.
he would get like schizophrenic. This dude, it got to the point where he was chasing down a woman.
Like stalking her, like showing up to her pad, following her.
He would describe to us her as a relationship.
Like they were in a relationship. It was a one-sided parasocial type relationship.
When we spoke with
Probably
her,
not.
she said, "That's no, blah, blah. I'm gonna call the police." I said, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of it."
She
Are you
never even
fuck-
knew him.
No, she doesn't know you. What the fuck are you doing? He was checked, and men need to
That's
do
it.
that.
That's
Need to
fucking
do
creepy.
that.
That's the whole thing because it's like
Hold on. When we first met him, it was like, "Oh, do N-words also like rock and roll?"
he said that.
He didn't know it, and it was like, "Oh, this dude."
There's
wrong.
something
That's
wrong
so
with him
fucking
for
weird,
sure.
dude.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Me personally, guys, I'm not friends with people like that. If women do not like you, I don't like you because it's like, why don't women like you?
Yeah.
They
It's
wanna
also
be
on
attracted
us,
to you,
dude.
but it's just
As
like,
men, it's on us to weed that out.
yeah, you gotta
and-
you gotta weed it out for sure.
And this is also to protect women.
Well, yeah, it's a whole thing too because it's like the hierarchy's a real thing. It is what it is. And it gets weeded out because that guy doesn't reproduce and his genetics die off eventually, hopefully.
But he
obviously.
also, so this guy that we end up, he's a normal dude now.
Oh, is he? Oh, he cleaned
Yeah.
up.
So
What
we
makes
would
it
just,
normal
we would
now?
tell him, "Oh, you can't say this, you can't do that." We were just telling him what's acceptable and not
Then he
acceptable.
gets
No one
choice.
ever told him that.
How could
Never
tell
knew
that?
what was acceptable, even with social media and looking.
I
He
call those
never
people-
Did he not
I
know?
call
How
those
old was-
people, like, to me, that's like you're not even a human being anymore. You're just
Well, that's-
like
I
an
mean, that's
empty
pretty-
vessel. You
That's
know what I
pretty
mean?
wild. How old was he?
He was older. He was in
went
his
his-
30s when I was in my 20s.
He went his whole life with no one ever saying anything.
His environment was only school and home.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's why some.
And he was the quiet kid.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, you need to do something about that. You can't be too socially awkward. You need to learn how to work in society.
Oh,
you
shit.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's this another dude that was on our show, right? His name was Big Mike. This dude was like 6'6", big, right? But like the most meek man
Yeah.
you would ever meet.
That's pretty common.
He was real weird until we were like, "Hey man, like you probably need pussy." Right? At that moment, and I was
Yeah,
young. I was like, "You
yeah.
need some pussy," right?
Funny.
And he was like, "Oh, well, what can we do?" I was like, "Do you know what a Jack Shack is?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "So you go to them, and they give you a massage, and then just happy ending."
it's like the happy.
And then so he was like, "And they'll have sex with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you just gotta have money, but
Yeah.
you can't be weird. You can't be touching them.
Yeah.
Don't put your fingers in their butt." I was giving him like the
How
you have to
how
take
do
a
it.
shower, you
Yeah.
have to smell nice.
Is that
Let
a
her-
thing?
See, I knew that was a thing because
Fucking weird.
you'll
I'm
be
sorry,
driving
that's
like
so
late at
funny.
night.
Wait,
like,
wait
why
till the
hell's
part
a-
two.
Why the hell's a
Oh my
massage parlor
God.
open up at 11 p.m.?
What
Like,
the
that's weird. You know
fuck?
what I mean?
Right next to a bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he ends up doing that, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, do you want to have a segment on the show where you talk about?"
You doing that?
Yeah, he did.
Oh God.
Here, talk to him. Maybe I can find the segment. Just the beginning of the segment is so funny, and you'll be able to hear him. Like,
You know what though? I think, look, there's nothing wrong with just paying for it if that's what you got to do. You know what? Well, because here's how I look at it. There's a lot of guys that will be harassing women that don't want them when they could have just went to pay for it by someone. It's safe, and then that guy is not acting psychotic anymore.
Is that considered taboo in the guys' world to pay for it, or is that
Well,
acceptable?
No, it's acceptable for certain people.
What makes more sense as a guy that's in that position, that's getting no play, chasing a bunch of women, trying to spend all kinds of money and getting nowhere, or just like going to the thing that you want to get? Because those guys don't even know about building a connection with a woman. That's not even what they're looking for. They don't know how to.
They
do
don't know
it.
how to be.
You know what I mean? Because it keeps everyone like out of trouble for the most part. You know, I personally don't think it's good, but I'd rather have that than a guy like shooting up a place.
So just not getting pussy leads
Yes.
to a guy
Yes.
getting crazy
Yes.
and all that shit.
Look,
100%.
why do you think these guys conquered the world? Like
It's
when
so
it conquered the
dudes.
world. Why do you think these guys start all these wars and all kinds of crazy shit?
Over women.
It's over women. Trust me, it's like they want to have the power, they want to have the women. The reason that guys do anything for the most part is to attract women.
That's it.
That's just a fact. You
I
know,
found it.
it just is what it is.
Huh.
When a guy's deprived and all that sexual energy is just like brewing inside of them and
Do dumb shit.
they got no outlet for
Dude,
it.
I
Yeah.
fucked a Gatorade bottle, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you hear these crazy stories.
The shit out of this big old bear that my dad won
So-
from the Ventura County Fair because
So-
he knew how to get the bottle. You know what I mean? With the rope and the ring. I got sick on a Tuesday. I stayed home. I fucked the shit out of that bear.
Funny,
you fucking
but that's what I'm
serious?
saying.
Oh my
Guys
God,
will
that's
become
funny.
very innovative. So
Okay.
what's going to be interesting though? A lot of these problems might be solved when they get these. Like it's like they're getting pretty. Like AI is getting pretty good, and then they're going to get the robots with the real flesh and stuff.
And then all the problems will be gone.
All the problems will be gone. I
So
fully
They're gonna
AI
fuck
will
AI.
save the world.
look.
Okay,
I fully
that's how.
support. I fully
Okay.
support that happening because those
hilarious.
people can just be over there and not causing anyone issues. You know what I mean?
Right, so this is it. I found it.
Okay.
That's
I
so
literally
funny.
found it.
This is a crazy conversation. This is
Hear it?
Red Light District Show! Here we go!
Oh, here you go. We hyped this Jack Shack advice with Big Mike on the Red Light District Show. Big Mike, what do you do?
I go to massage parlors and I give advice about it.
and he gives.
All right, advice about it.
I,
What do you got going on this week?
He wants a
the
consultation.
original- Ventura massage.
What?
It's called. That's what it's called. The original.
Oh, that's just it's
Yeah,
called the
we told
original.
everyone
Yeah,
about that. That's
and,
crazy.
They're the people who originated dick stroking.
Yeah, I have some good tips this week.
Sure you do. All right, go for it, buddy.
And I was getting a massage, and I went through my normal lines. I asked him, how old are you? What's your name? Maybe they're a little bit about their background. I asked.
This is all when you're getting rubbed down.
And then I asked, what do you do for fun? And then she said,
Please,
what do you
man.
think? And I was like, oh, it's on, right? She started talking about movie theaters and that kind of stuff. Like, oh, she's really a nice girl. But I was thinking, okay, maybe when we get to the shower, I'll try something. I think she'll be down for it. And,
Big Mike's starting to talk like us now, huh?
She'd be down for it.
That's it. That's him.
That's
Are you down for it?
it's the loneliness, man. It's a real thing. You don't want to spend too much time alone because it makes you kind of
He lives in an alone apartment by himself.
see. You get an animal or something. You know what I mean? Because if you're lacking any type of human interaction, human touch, like it starts messing with you. It starts messing with a lot of guys.
That's interesting.
You're learning about dudes.
No, it's crazy.
it's
I've
a
never,
human nature thing.
I've never even thought about that. Like I don't see that side of. I mean, I'm a girl. I can go celibate for a long time, and
Well, here's what's fun. Here's the thing too. You don't see it because you don't even notice those guys. Those guys are all invisible to you.
that's true.
You only notice the attractive guys. It just is what it is. So those guys are like not even registering in your brain.
They're not even part of my life network.
So they
can't
already
come
feel
close.
invisible. They can tell that you feel that way. You're just overlooking them. And then what happens? They get radicalized because they go on the internet.
They listen to Andrew Tate.
Those are the people on the internet.
But, I mean,
shit
believe
about
me-
women.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, he has some good messaging.
Well, yeah,
but when
but-
you give it to someone who has shattered life,
Yes.
they don't understand it.
Look, because you're looking, it's that cognitive bias. Like you're looking for the information that you want to get. So you're hurting. You go like, it's definitely not me because I'm perfect. It's the women and their
Yep.
feminism. It's that feminism. It's the women. They're acting like hoes. Like they say shit like that. You know what I mean? And they're just mad, but then they want to do the same exact thing. That's what's crazy. They're mad about it, but then they want to do the same exact thing.
Cause that same exact pain in the world that they just experienced.
Well, it's because it's like they're hurt, so I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go around hurting other people. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Hurt
you know?
people,
It's
hurt
like
people.
It's a low vibrational way, a low frequency way of being, and then you're like, what's the point? It's like you see these guys that they want to build up, they want to get some success. They eventually get success. They get the nice car. They get the clout, and then they want to go show it off to a bunch of people that are beneath them. It makes no sense to me. Like, why? Wouldn't you want to be around people that are like you, not people that are beneath you so you can flex on a bunch of people that are less than you? It makes no sense. But that's what you see a
Some
lot
people
of.
love to be the big fish in a small
They
pond.
do. And it's so funny. It's like you see that. It's like high school mentality. And it just never goes away. It exists at all levels.
I want to switch gears here. We were talking. I know it sounds real weird for me to even go from where we were to where we're going, but it's also if you would ignore the religion part of it, we can just chalk it all up to conspiracy too. We were talking earlier this week. We saw each other at the gym. We were chatting. I was like, hey, what means the most to you right now? What are you working on? Or what is something that you just are in love with the knowledge and searching? And what do you talk about?
Well, it's a combination. I've been reading a lot of Carl Jung. I've been reading different religious, mystical type texts. Because if you look at Carl Jung's work, he actually studied a lot of the mysticism type stuff, religions and all that kind of thing. And it got me curious. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what does that mean? Like, religion is such a big aspect of the human experience. And it's so broad, but what's so funny when you're in like America, it's like you got like one option for a religion, and like that's it. And if you're not that one, like you're wrong.
What do you mean?
Like a lot of people say like America's like a Christian nation.
So what they mean by that is we built the nation off of Christian values, which are like the 10 Commandments,
The
pretty
10
much.
Commandments,
Don't
yeah.
steal, in which I'm not a religious dude.
Yeah.
I am atheistic.
I don't like religion because of the control aspect of it. I don't think that the Bible's inherently bad because there's a lot of wisdom in the Bible. It's the whole thing that goes, you can't do this, you can't do that, or else big man, the sky's going to send you into the fire and brimstone, and you're basically scared into behaving a certain way. So it's actually
Submitting.
It's basically like it's a control of human nature.
And they use it because they use it through making you believe that God is this external.
God is in you. God, if you look at what they're saying, the kingdom of heaven is within.
And that's the key right there.
The key is internally. Jesus was talking about this. He's like, it's all internal. If you read a lot of what he was saying, you read a lot of the other texts that's not in the Christian canon, they talk about how the divine spark, the divinity, it's within you, and the stuff inside of you is the stuff that's outside your world. That's why people that are living their best life, that's because internally they believe that you don't wait. You don't wait for heaven later. You create the heaven now, is what Jesus was actually trying to teach, in my opinion. Not this wait later. And that's very, religions do this to control people all the time. If you're Muslim, if you do XYZ thing, you'll have all the virgins waiting for you later on. If you're Christian, if you do XYZ thing, you're going to have all the riches later on. And it's like, it's so like egotistical human way of being to think, if you're in America, God is a white man in the sky. If you're in the Middle East, God is a Muslim man in the sky. If you're in whatever place, Africa, it's a black man in the sky. So you just see it as you basically. And if you read the actual text, God created man in his image. So you're it. You know what I mean? Like, you're it, and you're capable of, you're not God to be worshipped.
I mean, however, it could also be Nibiru.
Yeah.
In that situation.
It
So
doesn't matter.
Let's say that, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, right? The story with Nibiru, are you familiar? The planet, it's coming back. Their atmosphere was failing. They came up with the idea, we need to put gold flakes in the sky to bounce the sunlight out of the atmosphere. And to create atmosphere while it had time to heal. They found Earth, they brought people down. They were digging, they found a bunch of gold, but they needed more and it needed to be faster. So what they did, they created a human being. They spliced DNA.
Is this where the Anunnakis came from? Is this their story?
That's
they came from the planet Nibiru, and then
that's
where they created humans to dig gold.
It's another creation story, because it's like basically every religion has a creation type story, like where did it come from, And
I get what you're saying now. That's a sense beyond that.
So
because that's still a story.
Yeah,
that's still created to possibly.
If you study how human nature. The way humans communicate is through storytelling and symbolism. Everything is storytelling and symbolism. So if you can look past, if you don't take the stuff literally, you go, what are they actually trying to say? Because a lot of the religions it's the same thing. It's like a divine person comes and creates everything and then comes in and saves the day from the evil. Because human nature's dual, you know what I mean? There's like evil and good. It's like, it's in us all. You know, that's why they make rules. You got to put limits on it, because if there's no limits on human nature, you see the worst of it when there's like genocide and all that kind of stuff.
I think evil is just unregulated emotion.
No one thinks when they're murdering all those people that they're doing anything bad. They actually think that they're saving the day, is what they think. And if they win, history will write them in there as they save the day.
And that's usually
You
if they
know.
believe in some kind of crazy religion that makes them feel that way,
Well,
that
people-
guy's the bad guy.
Well, that's what people do. It's like they justify. That's why people love religion, because, or they love politics, because they go, look, it's God's will. I don't want to have to murder all you guys, but God told me to do it. That sounds psychotic if you say that. But if you can't argue with divine, how do you argue with divine? You can't. And then if you're programmed from a young age to do this, to do all these different things, when you start studying, if you go back and look at your childhood and you think about how much you were programmed, you were sent to school for 8 hours a day and they were blasting you with propaganda, basically. Even something as simple as saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day. You're pledging your allegiance to a country. You're forced to do this as a kid. And I'm not like un-American. I'm just making a point that this is...
I agree.
They talk about how China's like, look how crazy they are. We're doing the same thing. So is what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
At a young age, you're standing there and you're pledging your allegiance. And if you repeat something enough, you believe it. Like literally, you can try that experiment on yourself. Say something crazy to yourself over and over and over again and see how long it takes you to believe it. Eventually, you're going to believe it.
I actually do that, but I say good things.
Well,
like
that's
affirmation.
that's how manifestation works.
Yes.
Manifestation works by, you have to program your mind. There's something called the reticular activating system in your brain. And what that does, and this is why I like prayer and journaling, that's why it all actually works. People just go like, no, it's magic. No, I'll tell you, this is how it actually works. You have something called the reticular activating system in your brain. And you ever, like, you get a new car, for example, and then all of a sudden, like, you see that car everywhere, and you're like,
Pattern recognition.
you're like, I never seen this car before. Now it's like they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Those cars always existed. So when you're like living your life and you're going through your day, there is billions of bytes of information that your eyes are taking in.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot handle that. So the reticular activating system is like a filter. So now that you have awareness on the car, like I got the red Corolla or whatever, because you see that every day and you're sitting in it every day, you now notice it everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's why if you pray or you do affirmations, eventually you're programming that part of your brain to filter for that. That's why I think what's crazy, and that's why social media can be so negative, is because if you're experiencing something bad and you make trauma content, I like to call it, I don't know if you're familiar with that term, trauma content. It's basically going on there and just telling everyone your trauma and commiserating with each other. You are actually programming your own reticular activating system to look for more of that, is what you're doing. So that doesn't really serve you any well.
And a lot of people, they thrive in that on social media.
Well, they do.
They thrive to be the victim. How can I be the victim? Because somewhere in our society, we've programmed ourselves to that it's currency. To be a victim is a currency.
It is, because currency is attention. Victims get attention because people like to commiserate with each other. And when you have the victim mentality, you go, see, I could have been doing it, but this is why I can't do it. You know what I mean? So a lot of people have the fear of going for something and failing, and they use their victimhood to protect their ego. Because to put yourself out there and it doesn't work out, I've done this many times in my life, it doesn't feel good. You don't go like, I'm so happy that I lost. You know what I mean? But it's not really a loss. But people can't handle that blow to their self-esteem because they internalize it. They internalize that they did something and it didn't work out, and they think there's something wrong with them. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Maybe you just didn't know what you're doing. It's very possible. How are you going to learn? You know? So victimization is, people love an excuse to why they're not doing it. They love to make an excuse. And it's like, if you can just coddle me, make me feel good, I don't have to act.
Those people are all unhappy.
Well, yeah, of course they're unhappy because...
and they're on social media and it feeds more of their misery.
Do you know anyone that is performing at a high level that's making trauma content? going and talking about how everything sucks all the time? Do you know anyone that's doing well that's always talking about how everything sucks? Always negative, you know? It's like, it's so funny. And
The Democrats.
I started picking up on that.
Yeah, that's their
Well,
whole thing.
Yeah, because they basically, their brain got hijacked by an ideology. Because it's
Yeah.
like, how are you going to let an ideology, not even your own ideas, hijack your whole being? Because that's what we're seeing. It's so and what people don't realize, because they go like, oh, I'm not easily influenced. That's what everyone thinks. All of us are very easily influenced. Just really think about it. Think about environments you're in and see how you feel. We're all very easily influenced. Everyone thinks that they're not, and the people that think that they're not are the ones that are being the most influenced.
Right.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's like a whole thing, and that's what the whole like ideologies thrive on. They thrive on the person that has the ego to think that it's not me. This is an original idea. I thought of it all on my own. You know,
Yeah, this happens like
literally all the time.
Instagram stream.
Yeah.
There's no propaganda in it.
No, it's not. It's the truth. This is the truth.
And other people,
Yeah.
they're the ones that have the propaganda.
Yeah.
Mine, no, this is the truth. But those other people,
Yeah.
they have propaganda, and
They're just dumb. Well, because here's the thing that people don't ever do. And like, since I'm a bro, I'm always like thinking about everything in training aspects. Like, that's how I just approach life. I'm like, I got trained for XYZ thing, so I train for it. What people they don't train their brain. And what I mean by that is they're not going like, when you go in the gym, you're like lifting weights and putting extra load on. That's challenging. How often do you go and read something that's against your beliefs? How often do you do that? To like purposely go and I'm gonna go read this other propaganda over here real quick just to see what's up and challenge your own. Most people,
No,
you know what I mean.
no.
90% of people, what they do is they just do stuff that
They double down it.
that reinforces their own
I
beliefs.
think people don't look deep enough into themselves to know who they are, so they attach to this ideology for identity because it makes them feel comfortable.
Well, because they don't have an identity. Let's just be real. Like, most
Yeah.
people don't have an identity because they don't know who they are.
Exactly.
Because it's like, what happens when you go and meet most new people? What's the conversation like when you meet new people? But usually if you like go to like a random event or something that like you're introduced, they go like, what do you do?
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
your
yeah,
whole
what's your
identity is
career? Yeah, it's based on
apparently
your
like
career,
your
your
career.
family.
It's like, no offense, I'm gonna just name off some random careers, but like, I'm an accountant. Like, that's not your identity, dude. Like, you're not an accountant. That's what you do, but it's like, are you really truly like passionate about this? And you
Yeah.
are born to be an accountant, or you are born to be whatever thing. It's like, no, you actually are a human that has all kinds of interests, but you never explored that because you thought you had to be this like cog in the machine because we got to
Mhm.
like survive in the society that we live in. But because work takes up so much of your day, you're there from 9 to 5, and then you're in traffic after that, and then maybe you go to the gym, and then you're tired and you go to sleep. Like, when did you ever have time to live your life?
I was like, these guys, all these politicians can fuck off.
Yeah, seriously.
Because look, I'm working 100% of my extra hours to give 40% of my income
Yeah.
to the government
Yeah.
who mismanages it.
Yeah.
And their only answer is us to get them out again. More taxes,
Yeah.
more taxes. And
Well-
guess what, dude? Fuck all the way off because my sacrifice is spending time with my child. Like, I miss micro moments that I
Yeah.
shouldn't miss because half the time I'm at work, I'm paying for your fuck ups.
The whole thing, in my
Yeah.
opinion, is the biggest scam, because it's like, how crazy is it that, number one, the only people that really pay taxes are W-2 employees. People that are the elites are not W-2 employees, so they pay very minimal tax. So the first thing you got to do to get out of the system is not be a W-2 employee fully. You got to start having other ways because they make money off of like,
What you do is you open yourself up as a bank. The
Yeah.
LLC is the bank of Timothy Amoroso.
yeah.
And then what you do from there, you pay that
Yeah.
because banks don't.
Yeah, and like a lot of them just
That's-
live. Yeah, they
What's
live
the
off.
level?
They live off of debt. It's like a whole crazy like pyramid scheme.
I'm gonna
But
hit you up later about this.
yeah, but
Yeah, it's pretty much you can take from the bank and then write that off as you putting it in, and it's just you're paying yourself.
yeah.
Huh.
So here's the crazy thing too. What
I
people
see.
don't realize about like how their whole identity gets hijacked from them is because you get like a regular job, for example, and that job has basically full control of your whole being because they tell you how to look, what time to show up, when you're allowed to get off, when you can go do stuff, and
when you can go to lunch,
so
when you can take a break, when you can take a vacation.
There was a book that I read. I found it very fascinating. It was called Private Government, and it was talking about how like the real government is the corporations that you work for because they have full control. They tell you how you can post on social media. They got full control over your whole.
That is true. That's good.
That's why I really truly see it as slavery. Like it really, you got to really start thinking this way because when you start thinking of slavery, it brings that anxiety to you to start doing some stuff. You got to really see it as like your life force is being farmed from you when you go to these places.
You're slowly losing who you are.
That's why you see these people. It's like, you ever see someone that's been working at a job that they hate for like 20 years? They don't have any
soul.
They don't have any energy to them. Like, you don't feel a presence. They look dead in the eyes. Their body is just like destroyed because they basically gave it up for a place that didn't care about them. And then they missed their kids growing up. They missed everything. For what?
Yeah.
Because, like, what's the whole point of life anyways?
And those are the people that want to settle, right?
Well,
those are the types of people that want to settle and just...
Well, this is why there's, like, a lot of things are getting kind of interesting because back in the day, like, the social contract was you do that, you can have the white picket fence and the 2.5, and you can go on 2 vacations a year. That was the old social contract, and people are like, yeah, I can get behind that. Like, I have that for sure thing that's going to happen.
You can't own a fucking house now. Let me talk to you about this owning a house shit, right?
Yeah.
A 3-bedroom house in Oxnard. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. $1 million.
That's crazy.
I can go and talk to my cousins back east. I go, I live in $1 million home. I was like, oh, can I see it? I will show them my home.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, I live in a
It's bigger and nicer.
$200,000 home. Fucking 7 bathrooms.
Yeah. It's like a mansion, basically.
6 bedrooms. They have like a backyard that goes forever.
Yeah.
And who's the sucker?
Well,
who's the sucker?
I mean, that's the thing because
we don't have that no more.
Yeah.
We can't even send our kids to school because you can't trust the schools.
They're going to brainwash your kid.
They're going to turn your kid against you.
They're going to propagandize your kid. You see this happen all the time. They become like a weapon of the state. But what's crazy is this is why this is a big issue because when no one owns anything, they don't give a fuck. Like, why do I care? I don't own anything. Let the whole shit burn down because I'm not going to be here because I don't own it.
This is why you have so many people in favor of socialism.
Yeah,
right now.
well, it makes perfect sense because if you don't own anything, you literally got nothing to lose. Like, what, they're going to take more tax? You don't make any money anyways.
I'm broke as fuck anyway. I need a way to get up.
So another problem is, like, you know, the builders of society are men. Men are the ones that go out there and they do all the shitty jobs that no one wants to do. Like, women work, of course, but they don't want to do all the building the roads. They don't want to do all that kind of stuff. Men are the ones that do that. The incentive for them is like, hey, I can get this house, and then I can have a family. They can't afford that now. So now they're just totally checking out of the whole system. That's why you see a lot of issues in relationships. The guy just can't afford it. Like, literally, and then the standards are sky high now. You know that. Like, the standards, because social media, they see all these people living.
They think that it's easy to make 6 figures.
They think it's a common thing. Like,
that all men should eventually make or can make. But not all of them are going to get that because not all of them are that dude.
They're not that dude. And then they think, like, also he's going to want to pay all the bills, too. So they got to, it's a very, like, small percentage of guys that are like, I'm making this amount of money. And I want to be the provider type guy. I want to pay all your bills.
Me.
That's not common because a lot of guys are like, I worked this hard and no one helped me on this. Why am I going to just give it all up? And
to go back, I literally told my wife, I said, hey, listen, you either are in or out. And she supported me. She fucking helped me build.
Then she deserves it.
That's exactly what she deserves it. She can take half my shit. I don't give a fuck.
She built it with you, basically. Yeah, like that's.
I get the money, but I mean.
Well,
it goes to our family.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to the same thing. If she's on your team, like, she's going to spend it wisely, obviously. Yeah. But the thing you see that's flexed on social media is it's just consumerism lifestyle. Yeah. It's just like, and it's a bunch of like, let me make you jealous because I found this one guy that is buying me all these Birkin bags and taking me on these exotic locations. And we're going out to eat at these nice, you know, Michelin star restaurants all the time. And your loser boyfriend over there. And see, this is what ruins people's relationships because they go like, oh, Stacy over there, her man's doing XYZ thing. My fucking loser boyfriend can't even take me to Applebee's, you know? And then she's just literally just like hating her man because she's comparing him to a guy that she'll never meet, basically. You know what I mean?
A lot of those social media stories, like,
it's fake.
Brother, half the money you see,
it's prop money.
I had a magazine at one point, and I have seen money getting shifted hands for me to post certain things, for me to put somebody on the cover. And then you go, like, they want you part of the meeting because they want to help strategize this artist on this single or this
That's
album.
how it is.
So you're part of these meetings, and they're like, oh, how much money do we have for marketing? Well, we have 14 million. All right, well, I want you to pay for 10 million streams.
Yep.
They say that. It's not a, they're
it's a
not, no one's playing around. They pay for the streams.
Yep.
Then they're like, all right, go to Rolling Stones to see. I know Baba there. Let's see if she'll put us on the second flat page.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
these are, everything you see is paid for and designed.
Yeah, I started really realizing when I started working in entertainment, and I started seeing, I'm like, oh, this is
Not real.
oh
Everything that I thought was organic
that
ended
guy's
up not being
that's
organic.
paying for everything.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit, that guy's just paying for everything. That's how it actually works. It's not like I don't know how I thought it worked, but it wasn't like that's not how I
So
thought it
this
worked. You
is
know what
wh-
I mean?
So you know when you go to Costco and you buy like in bulk? So you just spend a bunch of money
Yeah.
and you're getting a bunch of, this is how they do it. They put so much money out for fishing and they know that they're only going to make 20% back. So they're going to put out 30 million, but they only expect to make 18.
It's because you have to. It purely comes down to exposure, like the way. Because you think about why do these companies spend so much for marketing? This will go back to the symbolism thing, for example. The Nike swoosh. Everyone recognizes it. Why do you think everyone recognizes it? Because they've seen it so many times. Literally, it's been blasted into your consciousness millions
Michael
of
Jordan,
times. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
If you just expose someone to something enough times, eventually it'll become a thing. It's like we can easily be hypnotized and brainwashed if you just purely expose someone to something. That's why they spend so much money, because if you just start seeing this random artist all the time, you think that they're a big deal just because you've seen them a lot. You don't even know anything about them. You just seen them a lot, and you go like, wow, they're getting a lot of coverage. They must be something.
That's why people buy the designer bags for like $5,000.
Well, because it's a status symbol, because they go like, if you can spend them, then you must be something. You know, you must be someone if you can have this nice bag and you're driving the Lambo and you're living the whole lifestyle. But you can tell, though, when you meet somebody if it's actually real or not when you talk to them. Because it's like when it's not real, they're not able to stand up in it comfortably. You know what I mean? It's all just smoke and mirrors. So, and it attracts a bunch of people that are doing the same fraud type activity. And then they're surprised that they got hurt. It's like, dude, you were a fraud too.
Yeah.
And you attracted another fraud. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
You know, so crazy that happened.
So that guy, an artist, I was a part of their meetings and a part of, do you remember a guy named Kid Leroy?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's
but
alive.
He was like, he blew up like in what, 2018 or something like
2020.
that? 2020. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I know that guy. That song with Justin Bieber.
He's from Australia, right?
I think so. He had that song with Justin Bieber that was really popular. He paid money to get Justin Bieber on the song. Is that what it was?
His whole everything was paid for from the start. Every single thing was. They paid TikTok. They paid Instagram. They paid Spotify.
I remember.
I was in those meetings.
It's a real thing.
In those meetings.
I was in those meetings.
It's a real thing. You know, it's funny.
I didn't sign shit.
That's the funny thing too, because it's like you see. That's why the whole fraud thing. People don't understand. Like, you know, everything now. Like those streamers are really popular, right? Everyone's like the streamers, and they're like, oh, they got all these women around them. Come to find out, they're just paid models. Like I found that out because I was like seeing casting notices for it. Like I was like, yeah, that loser's not actually getting women. He's just paying them, and then a bunch of guys are watching, going like, oh, if I'm a streamer, then I'm gonna attract all these women to me, and like meanwhile they're just paying for it at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
And so that Kid Leroy, right? Kid Leroy. What is it? Do you know any other song?
I've heard some of his music. Yeah, I've heard some of his songs.
I only know this song with Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
$4 million to get Justin Bieber to do it.
Well, it makes sense. Justin Bieber's.
So he just paid for everything.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you have enough money, you can just pay for stuff.
And then people know your name.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the biggest problem is he couldn't dance.
Yeah.
And they were trying to. They were like, "Whoa, do you know somebody?" They're asking me, "Do you know someone that can teach him to dance?"
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like,
he had no stage presence and all that. You know, you gotta keep in mind, like true stars, like a Justin Bieber, like a Michael Jackson or Prince. Like these people are like true stars. That doesn't come around every day. A lot of people are just like propped up. You know what I mean? They're propped up. They got like You teach that guy some basic moves, and let's get like 10 other dancers around them to make it look like they're doing better than they are. You know what I mean? And we'll do all kinds of smoke and lights, and we'll
that's what I was saying. I was like, well, don't. Who gives a shit if he dances? Just you have him sing to the fucking backup dancers.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You don't need to dance.
Look,
dude.
you don't have to dance, but they wanted. That's not what they wanted because they were trying to position him as another Justin Bieber type guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
If you're gonna be like a Justin Bieber, you gotta dance.
Because there was a bunch of emphasis on him dancing.
That's what I'm saying because it's like when you really
hours talked about.
Yeah, because
they were talking about it for hours.
That's the funny thing because I don't know why that's a thing, but like the pop star has got to dance because you just look at all of them. You got like MJ, you got Justin Bieber, you got Chris Brown. All of them are amazing dancers, and
that's what pop is.
Yeah,
it didn't go that way, huh?
No,
music didn't go that way after COVID.
No, it's kind of becoming more like rock now. Hip hop's kind of like going down a little bit, and like rock is starting to become more.
What do you see?
Country,
yeah.
Country is like the country aesthetic. I would say like it was very like hip hop was like dominating the charts like 2020 through till like kind of very recently. But then you start seeing like these people do country songs now. Look at Post Malone, for example. He went full country.
You do have a point. So the electronica, there was a shift between 2021 and 2023 that they were coming from Europe was coming this way. And that's when you saw a lot of these hip hop dudes, they end up shifting. Like Kyle was one of them that shifted. So I knew about it, but it didn't last long. And then what ends up coming up is different sorts of hip hop from England per se,
like the drill and all that kind of stuff. I feel like the country becoming is kind of more of like a cultural sign of like conservatism is becoming more popular in our country, and with the music aesthetic goes with it, and the whole like aesthetic that people dress goes with it, and that goes with like people becoming more religious. It's like the music kind of shapes the culture. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how if you think about the past 3 presidents,
yeah,
whoever was a president shaped the culture.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
or their party,
they're representing.
Yeah, started laying the culture.
Yeah,
down.
because it makes sense though, because we come to find out, like later on with all those like initiatives that were getting like pushed through, that people in the government were like going in with these corporations, going in with Hollywood to try to like push certain agendas. So
that's so fucked up, dude.
But it's not fucked up because it's how it's
so fucked up.
Yeah, you think it's fucked up, but every country does this because
doesn't make it not fucked up.
Well, because they want to control their masses.
Yes.
Their job is to get the country unified under one thing.
And these
too many different things.
Fucking assholes, they're like, yeah, you need to get an experimental shot. If you don't, you're a fucking murderer. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Well, it's just like fear.
Yeah,
fear.
Religion and politics using
fear. Yeah, anything. That's why I'm like anything that's like gonna purposely try to scare me. It's an immediate red flag to me because it's like I know you don't care about me that much.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So the fact that you're using fear, I'm immediately spidey senses are tingling that like something's up. Like
80% of people.
Man, if you really want to fucking help me and help us, how about let's start with term limits, right? So anything other than that, fuck off.
Well, why would they vote themselves in the term limits? That makes no sense.
It's not about me then.
Yeah.
You can fuck off. It's about you. Start using that vernacular going forward. Well, it's about you.
I'll be honest with you. I know some things do affect everybody, but if you don't really participate in it, you don't really notice it. You're just kind of like, you're living your life and you're not really noticing all this like nonsense.
But it's still affecting.
Ignorance is bliss, but the only thing you can really control is what's in your immediate reality though. So, what the president's doing, there's literally nothing I can do with what the president's doing, whether I like it or not.
I think it shapes my culture either because I don't even pay attention. I'm not tapped in.
Well, you can't do anything about it unless I'm going to go run for president. Maybe I'll do it someday. Who knows?
I think one of the reasons why I'm like very tapped into this recently is because I feel like it's about to break.
Oh, for sure.
There's
absolutely.
By that, what do you mean?
There's so much tension.
There's this dark underground control that we are seeing have so much control on our lives. We don't know who it is. We don't know what it is. Who's attached to it? It's seeping out little by little. A Jeffrey Epstein here. A fucking Bill Clinton there. That Hakeem Jeffries is coming out.
Yeah, you got Bill Gates,
They're all the and like, all right, well, it's not you. It's not you. We can't see Epstein files. We know that Israel's spending billions of dollars to try to make Americans like them.
I mean, that's crazy to me.
That's weird.
That's a red flag to me. I'm like, why is that a thing? I never even thought about Israel. Like, that was never a thought on my mind. But then, like, why am I getting all this propaganda about it?
Right after Charlie Kirk died, propaganda. And I'm like, how does the message right after Charlie Kirk dies, like, Israel's great?
Well, I thought that whole thing was just kind of strange. I found it strange to use that as, like, this recruiting propaganda tool. I mean, like, I'm like, that's crazy. I understand celebrating the guy's life. Like, I get it. I don't know too much about him. But the fact that it became, like, a propaganda tool, I found very interesting. And I thought that was weird, because it's like all of a sudden I'm being flooded. Like, literally, I can't, like, turn away. I open up social media, and it's like a Charlie Kirk thing. I feel like there's a big shift towards conservatism. I do feel like people are becoming more conservative.
And I think that like, right now, there's people who are defecting from Republican Party.
Yeah.
And understanding that, you know what? I want to be conservative.
Yeah.
What you guys are up to are not my shit.
Yeah.
And then also what they're doing with that is when they're shunning away the old guard of what that used to be.
That's
what
exactly
that used to.
Yeah.
And people are like, I don't want to be lied to no more. We want our country back, and not in a way of, oh, you're an illegal this. That's all. Like, if you're arguing about that you're a dipshit, because they're trying to get you to fight about that. And if you're engaging in it, that means you're just fucking retarded.
Yeah, you're missing the point. You know what I mean?
They're targeting you to do it, and you're helping spread their propaganda.
That's exactly what it is, because it's not one thing. It's not like the illegals. It's not the transgender thing. It's not, that's like what people like hammer down on. Like, this is the one thing. It's like, how many illegals do you actually know? How many transgenders do you actually know? Not very many. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's the thing that they're just so hung up on for some reason, that they're focusing your consciousness on, which I think is pretty, like, interesting, I don't trust any of them personally. To align yourself fully on one side and blindly follow everything they say is crazy to me. Because they're just using you. You're just a pawn. You're a weapon for them, basically.
You're very, like, tapped in spiritually. And maybe I'm over asking or over expecting. I think a lot of us feel a change to happen. I think there's too much knowledge out right now for them to keep on running the world the way they used to. Unless they do something huge, like a nuclear event or alien invasion. Those are the only two things that they can use that will still work to control the masses. Because they tried the fucking COVID thing, and that's not working. Do you at all feel something
I think it's
happening? And what does that mean?
Our consciousness. It's basically our entire conversation we're having right now. And it's all about trying to keep the programming going to control the masses. But I think everybody's hitting a point where they're becoming aware of all the bullshit, and they're able to realize what's going on, and they're able to break out of that consciousness control. And then all those people awakening and breaking out, we have kind of our own consciousness, and we're tapping into, like, the God consciousness.
Yeah.
And I think all those people together, we kind of like go in our own timeline, and we have our own kind of like new system and new experience.
Well, the main thing, in my opinion, it's not the left and right, conservative, liberal propaganda that's like to distract you, because the real problem is the working class, the peasant class, the feudal class, and the elites.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. It has nothing to do with being a left wing or right wing.
It's not a side to side thing.
An up and down thing, and the side to side, the racist thing.
That's stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
That's
the
all
transgender
to keep everybody
thing.
fighting against each other and the lower.
They're missing what is actually happening, and they're basically just getting enslaved. Is what it truly is.
Part of programming.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, what we're experiencing in life right now is fighting sideways amongst each other.
Yes.
When we need to be fighting up and down.
Yes.
And even when you look back on, and I'm not excusing anything, but when slavery was happening, do you think that, Joe down the road had slaves? Or do you think the same 1% that had
It's
slaves
the same.
then, because there's only like 1 to 4% of people had slaves.
It's the same.
They had slaves, and then now the same 1 to 4% have all the money.
Yeah.
So when we say something about, oh, we need reparations, you need to go find those families. Or you need to go up and down on the 1%. Because it's not your brother that's in the hood next to you. It's not the dude down the road who's Mexican. It's not a transgender dude trying to go into a girl's bathroom. It's the dudes that are creating the shit going downhill.
That's exactly what it is. Ever since like the agricultural revolution, in order to maintain society, back in the day, you can just directly get the things that you wanted. I'm hungry. I'm going to go hunt it. I'm going to go pick these fruits. You have immediate access to those resources. Now you have to like work to get resources from somebody else, and you got to work for the guy that's got the resources. So that's what the real issue is. So slave labor builds everything. It builds society. And then how do you get the masses to do what you want? You have to incentivize them. You know what I mean? But that doesn't really work too well because people rebel. You gotta give them like the carrot. You know what I mean? How do you get someone to like voluntarily enslave themselves? And it starts off when you're a kid and you're like, you need to go to college. Okay, Johnny, you want to get this random useless degree. It's going to be $100,000. We'll give you that loan guaranteed. If I went to a bank and was like, hey, I got this like great idea. It's going to make you millions. And it sounded like bullshit. And I'm like, hey, can you give me $100,000 for this? They would absolutely not do it. But they're giving this 18-year-old kid that's getting this useless degree $100 because they already know what that means. They know that loan.
You're a slave to them now.
That loan cannot be forgiven. And you are now forced to be in the system because you got to pay off this loan. So they got you now.
You can't make money off of liberal arts degrees, especially with $100,000 loan.
But they will happily give you that loan because they know that it means that you're going to be, then they're quickly trying to get you to get married and have kids and buy a house. Oh, a 50-year mortgage, perfect. Because now, and that's why employers like people that are married and stuff like that, because they know that if you got a house and you're married, you're less likely to talk back to them about bullshit because you need them. You're afraid to lose that security because you got all this stuff you got to provide for. So the reality is the real trap is getting all these responsibilities that forces you into their system. You need to like figure out how to get the things you need before you accrue these responsibilities, in my opinion.
In the 50-year mortgage is the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're
the
paying,
same thing.
Out of the 50 years, I think they said 16 of the years you're paying are interest. And I think it's like either $164,000 or a $1.6 million on a $600,000 house.
Literally,
$1.6 million at 6%.
50 years.
It's ridiculous.
You might as well just rent and like move around because now you're stuck in this place with a 50-year thing.
But then what do you have to show for working your ass off for your whole life? You have nothing.
Yeah, but either way, you got nothing. So you're going to die with nothing anyways.
Well, what about equity?
Like you said, the old social contract is I have something.
Yeah.
I have something to give my kids.
Yeah,
What's
but
up?
people aren't having as many kids these days. The population is on a decline, and people are having less and less kids. That's why immigration is so important because we need
immigration's the fucking problem.
No, here's the thing. This is why they have immigration. I'll tell you why they do it. It's not like, hey, we need the immigration because of the way that things work. Like the younger working class people in that part of their life are paying for the older people and paying for the younger people. When the middle people aren't having kids, who's going to pay for these people when they're older? So you got to bring in people to pay for them. That's why immigration is the thing.
I definitely get that, and I respect that. But when you bring in 17 million people...
I'm not saying it's good.
Remember, I just talked about the houses.
Yeah.
$1 million home?
Well, that's...
And then you have inflation from COVID, and then having 17 million people all scavenge for new cars, for a new apartment, for food, and this is why all of the prices are going up.
Well, it also has to do with, I mean, especially
in California.
It's not only because there's more people, it's because like the regulations on to build. You can't just like build a new housing complex. It's like so much goes into it where they can't just build affordable apartments. They end up building luxury units because the amount of money it costs to get all these permits. It makes no sense for them to do like low, you know, they're not going to get an ROI on it. So
there's hardly any return of investment on family homes anymore.
It's not worth it.
That's why we have over here, we live in Ventura County. we have this, you might have heard of it, the collection. There's all these new apartments. What would you say? Maybe 7,000 units to live in?
Probably.
And that's in a small
Condensed.
area. Guess how much each one of those went for? No. I wish it was 3. It was like 5.5.
5. 7. Who's paying for that? Because here's what doesn't make any sense.
What's happening is people are paying for that. Then they're using that as Section 8, and the government's cutting them fat-ass checks.
Oh, is that what's happening?
And then those people are moving in.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense to me
Section
because
8.
there's not enough jobs in this area that can pay for that. You know what I mean?
A lot of people are just or just going to LA here, LA here.
Well, yeah, because it's funny. I'm in LA often. I'm in the Bay Area often. Like the cost of like rent and stuff is very similar in these big major cities as it is in Ventura County. Ventura County is one of the most expensive counties in California.
And it didn't used to be. It just started this whole thing within 5 years. COVID.
It's a COVID thing. So that's why there's the big problem because the boomer generation that owns a lot of stocks and they own real estate are doing amazing right now. They're living in a completely different world. The people like Gen Z and millennials are not doing amazing because they don't have any equity. They don't have a lot of investments. And they're just basically living off their income and things are skyrocketing.
And that was the old social contract.
And they're getting shit from like the elders going like, hey, how come you're not settled down with kids yet? And they're just like, meanwhile, they're like trying to scrape together enough money to like pay for rent at the end of the month. Hey, how come, why are you taking so long to be doing XYZ thing? It's just like, because they can't comprehend because they're doing so well because like stocks are doing amazing and real estate is doing amazing. So they don't understand why you're not doing good. They're just like not in the same world.
Like they were able to get in on a lower, even in 2008, you can get like in 2008, you can get a 3-bedroom house for $300,000.
Yeah,
that's in 2008.
Yeah.
Now
It's like
the
double.
same $750,000
Salaries have not doubled.
at all.
That's just a reality. Salaries have not doubled, and then it's like recommended to only use like certain percentage of your income for housing and rent. And people are far surpassing what is recommended because like that's what they can afford. You know what I mean? I think they're saying like most people can't even afford like a $2,000 emergency. Like over 50% of the population cannot afford like a $2,000 emergency.
I saw something on Pat David. They were talking about it. He was saying something like it was supposed to be 35% of your income to be spent on rent, and what you have now is closer to 70%. And people are just doing Uber, they're eating less, they just
can't afford it. But the funny thing, it's like people don't really see it because they got like cell phones and we got all these like luxuries. So it's kind of like a lot of suffering's happening, but it's not really like noticeable because you got all these same luxuries still. It's like you're still on TikTok, you're still on Instagram. You're paying you're buying your $20 Chipotle bowl, it's like a whole thing. And you're just going like, you know what? Put it on, what is it, Klarna or whatever, like the Afterpay. Just put my burrito bowl on Afterpay. Do 5 easy payments of $5. And, everything's becoming subscription. Like you're just getting nickel and dime like every second you go. You can't even download any app on your phone now without signing up for the subscription now. It's crazy.
Right.
It's so annoying. Like
So
I want to just
insane.
like, do I even like this thing? It's like, oh, you gotta
know.
sign up for the subscription, and then you gotta cancel it to make sure you
and
cancel
then
it
you
within a
forget
day.
about all your subscriptions.
Yeah.
all of a
Just
sudden
getting charged.
$300.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Popped
It's
out.
a big scam.
Apple's pretty good about it though.
I always cancel it immediately, and then I'll just re-download it if I like it, just to make sure I don't get like. Because so many times you download it, like the app's not even good anyways. But that's the world we're living in. It's the own nothing and you'll be happy.
How
Like
are
Carl
most
Schwab.
people in Ventura County? Because I
They're
heard
not.
we were the most like disproportionate
Debt.
county, like as far as like income of like,
A lot of credit
Expense
cards
versus
are going
income.
up.
Yeah. I
Credit
think
card
the
usage.
debt is like I don't know what the $1 trillion amount that like the United States
Most
is in
families
debt
are
is.
putting 15% every paycheck on debt.
So it's just, but no one goes around saying I'm in all this debt. You know what I mean? No one's gonna go and tell you that they're like, oh, I'm just in crushing debt.
but most people are, right? I would say 99%.
I would say more than you would imagine. You know,
I thought everybody was in debt.
Well,
That's just like the
you ha-
natural way. Right?
when you look at someone, you're like, okay, bro, that truck, that's a $900 car note for your truck. Your apartment's like $3K. You're working some random. I'm like, the math is not adding up here,
Yeah.
and like this doesn't make any sense to me personally. So I would only imagine
There's some
it's debt.
phantom money happening.
It must just be debt because a car payment is crazy these days.
Car insurance too on top of it.
Like paying like $1,000 a month for a car payment, it
Yeah.
doesn't even make any sense.
Talk
I've been saying that for years.
I just recently slowly got myself out of it, of the debt. So I would just work extra hours.
Yeah, process.
So what I did is, at one point, I had like 11 credit cards. No, I didn't do that. Because if you do that, We live in debt. I might need it one day. You
Oh,
know. So what I would do is I'm paying the minimum all but one.
Oh, I see.
And so that one, I'm doing triple payments.
Oh, got it.
Eventually, I pay that one off. I take the triple payments I was paying on here,
And put it on the next
put it
one.
on the next one with the normal payment.
Is
I
that,
pay.
that the Dave Ramsey snowball thing he talks about, where you just like you do each one and eventually pay off all your debt?
No, I
I
don't.
think that's what he talks about.
I just did it, and
It worked.
I'm down to 3.
Oh, that's good. You'll be out of it in no time.
I did my math April.
So then, imagine how free you're gonna feel though once you get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's like because it's like when you have that looming debt over you, you can't be living your best life because that's like constantly in the back of your mind that you're like crushing debt is imprisoning me. You know what I mean?
And I'm not doing like I took a lot of that money that I saved because I'm not paying it, and I'm just doing double or triple payments on one because I wanted to have extra money to play.
You know, it's crazy too. It's like those interest rates on those credit cards are like 27%. Like,
Oh God, that's
it's
crazy.
like it's literally like it's worse than the mob wouldn't even do that to you. The mob wouldn't even be
Yeah.
charging that crazy interest rate. You know, and then they talked about like capping. That never actually went through, I guess,
With what?
with the interest rate on
Oh,
credit cards.
yeah.
They're supposed to cap it at like 15% and like
Uh,
some legislation that never happened.
Well, I mean, most of those because of the people that own the banks.
Yeah.
There is a group of families that sort of have ties to still America.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna take
No.
50% of their money away.
Why would they?
Yeah.
What's in it for them?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
you're
just
just crippling their business.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, there's literally nothing in it for them. Like, why would they help you?
they were saying in the Bible it said that loaning money and in charging interest is not good.
Ah, interesting.
It's part of slavery.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You're making people. That's what it said.
well, they missed that part of the Bible. Apparently,
Not
that
that we
part got
care.
like they got left out of the rules there when they wanted to be more Christian.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, people, see, that's the thing. Certain religious people will pick and choose the things that like work for them, and then ignore all the stuff that they don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? They go like, well, see, said here in the Bible that you must submit to your man, so why aren't you submitting to me right now?
Yeah.
It's not doing their part. They
Yeah.
go like, see, this book said, so woman, listen to me. You know what I mean? They be saying stuff like that.
Without earning it. Every man
Yeah.
needs to earn that.
I agree.
Trust with a woman.
You can't just go like, hey, submit to me just because a book said to. That's crazy.
It's stupid. If
Yeah.
you do it, you're dumb.
Well, I think that's why a lot of guys will gravitate towards it because they go like, well, now this book is going to make me, it's empowering me.
Like all the Mormons.
Well, yeah, you're going to be a sister wife.
All right. Well, dude, our time's coming to an end. We need to come back because we miss a whole.
We didn't get to talk about Mr. Philippines.
Let's end with that story.
Okay.
Ask questions away
Okay.
about how you became Mr. Like,
did
how
you
does
get
it
into
start?
it?
Oh, how I got into it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, long time ago, like basically several months ago, I came across this thing on Instagram. It was like a Mr. Philippines thing. I'm like, oh, what's that? That looks pretty interesting because I'm half Filipino. And I was like, oh, you know, it'd be cool if I can like get connected with more Filipinos because I don't really know any. I don't know too many. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not around a lot of, and then I don't also like look very Filipinos. There is actually a lot of
In Oxnard.
come to find out, there is a lot of
By
Filipinos.
CI.
Yes, exactly. They're
You
all
have
over.
to be at that part of town.
You're
over-
You don't
yeah.
live there.
I didn't grow up in that part of town though, so I was like
Yeah.
totally separated from like the Filipino
Same.
community, and I didn't really start meeting more Filipinos till I performed at like Welcome 805 thing. It was like that dance competition
Yep.
thing, and
They
there's
are
like
all there.
a lot of Filipinos there. I was like, oh, there's a lot of Filipinos in our community. That's pretty cool. So
Even know like little like taglines. Okay.
so
Or nagbebisikleta ang pusa.
I only know some. I know some. I'll hear some that I'm like familiar
That was
with.
because it was just like the cat was riding the bike.
But I don't speak it. But that was the whole point, like why I wanted to like get involved with it, because I was like, oh, I can meet some more Filipinos. So I'm like, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, I'm half Filipino. I don't know anything about what this is, but like, can I get more info? You know what I mean? I meet with them. They're like, hey, come to our shop. I show up. They're like, oh, you're perfect for this. You got to sign up and just show up at this thing on this day. It's like the first event where I'm like, it's like a red carpet thing, and they're introducing the candidates. So I'm like,
Or is everyone as swag as you?
no, of course not. No.
I mean, because you dress nice. You dress very nice.
I stand out a lot, and they all have their own individual type of aesthetic. Not like mine, though. You know, I have a very like
Is
distinct,
this how you always dress?
for the most part. I mean,
Nice.
yeah, I'd like to dress nice. You know, I think it's you dress nice. It's a sign of self-respect. It's a sign of respect to the people that you're around. That you didn't show up looking like a slob.
He always layers too.
Yeah.
That's his gimmick.
Well, number one, I like being covered up, even though I'm very fit. I will cover up most of the time. You know, it's like I
Yeah.
feel like it protects my energy. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's so funny
I feel the
because
same way.
it's like a lot of guys will get in good shape and they will like be in a tank top of like 40 degrees outside because they want to show off the muscles. That's it. Literally, they'll be in like a tank top in a totally inappropriate environment because they want to show off the arms. They want to show that they're fit because they worked hard for it, which I understand. But I don't
I
know.
just tried to get attention to be.
For me,
So
like
funny.
I don't know. I like covering up, so I
Yeah.
always like layer up. I'm always like, you'll normally see me layered up. So I show up at this event, and I'm like, now I'm getting training on how to walk a runway because I've never. We're doing like all of a sudden I'm like, we're doing a fashion show. So I show up, they're like, okay, we're modeling like barongs. So they're like, okay, you need to put this on and you got to walk this runway thing. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know anything about this. So I'm just like, okay, what that guy did, I'll just do what he did.
Did
know
you
what I
do
mean?
the like? Was it see through yours?
Well, the one I had was like they're like, hey, don't wear a shirt under it. It was like you need to show some skin apparently, and just button the top button, have the thing like open.
Well, because it's like, oh, you see through it. The people that don't know,
it's like
you
a dress
see through.
should see through, but,
But-
the particular one I had was
Sure,
not see
yeah.
through. It was like a open, the top buttoned up, and it had like the open in the middle
Oh, okay,
area.
okay.
So I was wearing that, and I modeled that, and I walked the runway, and then you introduce yourself, and that's like day one. Is like this whole thing. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. I did pretty good. Like,
Because you have
considering-
like, you know, you're sassy.
I know how to, I can do my thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even though I'm
You
not.
know, you know how to peacock.
Yeah, but I'm like I'm an introvert that's living an extrovert's life. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean? So I'm like, okay, let me do the thing, But I was laughing because I'm like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I do that. Then the second event day, it's like talent show, swimsuit thing, and you got to do a short little speech. And I'm like, okay, you ever have that like nightmare where you're just like, you have to give a presentation in front of class, but like you're in your underwear?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm living my nightmare right now because it's like we had to walk this runway under like these like bright ass lights. And it's just like you and they're like, okay, you got to get these shorts that are like, basically underwear, like short shorts. And you got to go out there and strut your stuff.
Were you shirtless?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're doing it's like the swimsuit thing. You got to do this whole swimsuit thing. And I'm like, this is crazy right now that I got to go. And then it's such a interesting
That's
thing because it's
funny.
one thing to go like, I'm
That's
going to the
You have a good
beach.
body though, dude.
I know that I
Did you
do.
feel weird?
No, but here's the thing. It's one thing to go to the beach and you're just like doing your thing and it's another thing to be like, people are lined up everywhere, judges here, cameras, and they're just like examining you.
This dude, he has so much control over his body, right? I
That's
don't
like,
know, it's
circus arts.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like
Circus
it's
arts.
circus arts. Yeah, it's like Circus Soleil type stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really control, like, putting one
acrobatics.
hand-
Yeah,
Have-
okay,
Oh,
acrobatics.
that's
Yeah.
Cool. That's amazing.
having his legs go straight up,
Yeah. Oh,
switching hands
Yeah.
That's awesome.
with slow,
Yeah.
methodical.
Yeah,
and
smooth.
he has muscles that, as a bodybuilder, I'm not going to be able to touch. And that's why it's surprising when I
Yeah.
hear this.
Well, it's funny because it's like, and then same with performing. Like, I do not love it, but I'll do it. But I don't love like all that attention personally. So it's like
How do you deal with all that?
I just suck it up, like we were talking about earlier. I remember like the first time I ever performed. It was at like a strip club. I know it sounds funny,
a
but
strip club?
I've never been to a strip club. But the first time I performed was at a strip club, and we were doing like the sexy circus thing. I was like, wow, my first experience at a strip club, I'm performing at it. How funny is that? But I remember the first time though, my feet were sweating. I was like so nervous, like my feet were sweating. I'm like, that's crazy because my feet don't sweat, but for
Yeah.
some reason my feet are sweating. And what I realized, I told myself when I was in that moment, I better be doing this more because if I want to be a professional, I better get used to this. I feel like there's something to be said about exposing yourself to the environment more often where it becomes normal. Because truly, even though it's hard to do, I do tell myself it's literally no different than me just doing it at home or doing it at the gym. It takes the same amount of effort to do the skill. The only difference is the environment that you're in, So I just try to tell myself this is literally no different, even though it's different. And it helps a little bit, but still, you get the nerves.
you
kinda
got
like-
that shit right away. Because it's not like you're doing what you do in training.
Yeah.
It's like 1 or 2 minutes, you're done, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I tell myself.
And that's, you do that in your
And
sleep.
here's the thing too that I always remember, and this is like something that a lot of performers probably know that regular people wouldn't know, is you're like you're hypercritical of yourself. You practice your skill, and then you go perform it. There's a good chance that your practice session was better than your performance session, just because of the nerves and stuff.
Right.
And also the thing that makes it more difficult when you're performing, at least I'm not having my own show or anything, so I'm just popping up in a new environment and immediately going. There's no practicing in that environment, so I'm not getting used to the environment at all. I'm just having to
Yeah.
pop in, so it makes it significantly more difficult. But what I tell myself and what most performers should, if they don't do this, is go, yeah, you know that you didn't perform as good as you normally do at practice, but the audience doesn't know that. The audience goes, wow, that was amazing, even though you're like, damn, I could have done so much better. But the reason for that is you're doing something very difficult. And the fact that you're on stage doing it, when people are watching you, they already think more highly of you. When you're on stage in those certain environments, and that's why you have to, in my opinion, it's very important when you have these opportunities to present yourself right, because you're looked at, when you're on stage, you're probably going to be looked at in your best light, because people are seeing you for the first time.
They're giving you respect already.
And they're seeing you as someone that is an authority at like whatever thing. So you have that already working for you.
So it's up to you to fuck that up.
So that's why whatever you do is already going to have a little boost to it because of the environment you're in. That's why I often will tell people, there could be a homeless person saying a lot of good wisdom, but the fact that they look disheveled, no one will listen to him. But if you put that guy in a suit and you put him on a stage, he's giving a TED talk, saying those same words, people are like, wow, that was so profound. That was like the most amazing thing. And it comes down, like, perception is everything, and your appearance matters. I know a lot of people go like, the appearance doesn't matter. It does matter. It really does. That's why if you're dressed like a slob, you're not respecting your intelligence. If you're going to try to, like, talk in a professional space, you're not even respecting your own skill set by showing up looking like a slob, in my opinion.
Anytime I have any meeting for anything I've ever done, I always have a collared shirt on.
Yeah, that's what I'm
no
saying.
No matter what. Right.
Yeah,
that means you can count on me.
Yeah.
Because I give a fuck enough to care a little bit about what I look like.
Exactly. Because if you show up to a thing trying to get like a new client or get an opportunity, and if you couldn't even have enough attention to detail to look presentable, do you think, is that person going to go like, this person could probably do that thing, versus if you showed up and you look like you took care of yourself, they go like, if that person did all that, like, they're probably going to kill it. And the perception of your work, if you showed up looking professional and you presented your project, or you showed up looking like a slob and you brought the same project, the guy that looked more presentable and professional, their project would be rated higher. Even though it's the same exact thing, same words, same everything.
Another thing is that when you're presenting yourself and you come dressed nice and you fuck up, guess what? It's not as big of a deal. But if you come in dressing like a slob, they're like, see, I told you this fucker was going to do this.
They're looking for a reason. See, that's the thing. If you're looking nice and they like what they're seeing, they're looking for a reason to like you. Remember I was talking about the reticular activating system. They're already filtering for good. So you'll be saying stuff like, oh yeah, that guy's, he's saying the right stuff. If you're looking like a slob, they're micromanaging, microanalyzing every little thing you do to see if you're fucking up or not.
Also, like the vernacular you use as well. Sir.
Yes.
Use yes, not no.
Yeah, the way you speak.
You should speak very slowly, think about, and don't say too much. As little as shut the fuck up, because we are dumb animals and we will fuck it up.
Yeah, but people love yapping though. We all love the sound of our own voice. You know what I mean?
One thing that I learned is the more I talk to people, the more in trouble I get.
Yeah, because the more you talk, the more you tell on yourself. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's move
back to the Philippines thing.
So
I this thing, and I do the talent show, and I was like, okay. I did my shit. I did good. You know what I mean? They were like, even after, they're like, oh, you probably have a good chance of like winning the talent award. But you don't know, you know what I mean? Because they're not the judges. They just saw my skill, and everyone was giving me a lot of compliments. And I don't find out till like the next, I think it was like the following week was like the finale at the theater, at the Alex Theater in Glendale. And, we show up there. And they're like, okay, you gotta learn. Now you gotta like learn this dance. I didn't know. I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta learn a dance now, like a choreographer, because it's part of the presentation when they're like coming out. They're parading us around. That's what I realized about pageants. I didn't know. It's just basically you being paraded around everywhere.
It's super gay.
So did you have all this facial hair? Or you really
well, no, of course I kept my facial hair because
you look the same.
Well, they wanted me. That's the funny thing. They're like, hey, can you shave? I'm like, no, this is how I look. I can't shave my beard off. Like, it would be weird. And then I'm like, I'm doing all these other jobs where I got a beard. And they need me to have a beard for it. You know what I mean? So I just told them, I was like, hey, I got the beard. I'm going to leave the beard. If I lose, then I didn't win. So, maybe it's because I had the beard. They don't want to. I was the only, like bearded man there. You know what I mean? Filipinos aren't really known for facial hair. And so I roll in, I look more Middle Eastern than anything. You know what I mean? But my whole thing, I'm half Filipino, and I deserve to be here just as much as anyone else, So on the finale, like, I had to learn this dance. What's funny about it is I don't know if you guys had to do this when you were a kid, like younger, but they had these little like shows that we did when we were kids for Christmas time, and then in the spring where we had to like sing and dance in front of our parents and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I have like childhood trauma from that because we had to do all that kind of stuff, and I hated it when I was a kid. And then I'm like rolling up to this thing, and I'm having flashbacks of like me doing that kind of stuff. So it's like a very healing thing for me to face those fears.
Bro, you didn't even go.
Top 10. I didn't make top 10, but I did win 2 awards, but I didn't win the top 10, unfortunately. This was in
I don't
August,
know.
I think.
Oh.
This was recent. Yeah, I've been doing like this year's been crazy for me. Like I've been doing so much random stuff. My year started off, I was in London for something. I had like a show that I did in London, like a reality show. Then I did another reality show in like April. And then I've been like working in different places. Then like this Mr. Philippines thing popped up. I was like, sure, let's do that. So 2025 has been a year of like side quests. Let me just see like what side quests I'm gonna pop up on and like see what new opportunity, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So I was like, what if I just like did a bunch of random new shit? And it's led me to a lot of cool, interesting experiences. So yeah, I didn't win the Mr. Philippines thing. I didn't win the top 10. I did win a Best in Talent award, so they recognized my talent. Everyone had to
For their talent. Because
Oh, yeah,
Filipinos
yeah.
are known
Oh,
for
yeah,
dancing
yeah.
and singing.
It was mostly people singing and dancing. Yeah, well, Filipinos love they love karaoke.
They
Oh,
love
yeah.
Cher.
They love
Karaoke.
dancing. So I would say most of the talents were like singing and dancing. I had a very unique talent. I got a very unique look. Maybe it's too much,
You think
maybe
your acrobatics.
maybe that's too much for what they're looking for. I don't know. But it's okay. I guess I wasn't meant to be a pageant king, but I gotta play it.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have sang this song and do your yoga shit,
You think I would have won?
for sure, dude.
I
Were there Filipino judges?
Yeah, of course.
You didn't fucking hit it with them.
See, I didn't show up Filipino enough.
Or you could have just sang Journey and done drums.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could have done. Yeah.
I know Aaron
Well, they
Pineda.
got that Filipino guy now.
Yeah.
singing and
He's
see,
on one of these. I interviewed him.
well, yeah. See, well, Filipinos they're coming up on stuff. That was my whole thing too, and that's why it was unfortunate that I didn't get to at least make it to the top 10, because the top 10 got to like say little things, and what I wanted.
Bro, if you would have used this song while you're doing your yoga shit,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
You win first place.
Maybe, but see,
You didn't. though.
unfortunately,
Okay,
yeah.
Hold on,
What
hold
is-
on.
What did you
Wait.
want to say?
So this is why it was unfortunate why I didn't get to make the top 10.
God, I think you like this song, not Filipinos. I think it's you.
You don't think Filipinos like this song?
Filipinos love that song.
Filipinos, they love Cher.
They love Cher.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Think about your uncles
My
in the
mom-
garage.
You've never sang Cher in my household.
they would all
No.
dance to it though.
Do you have an uncle named Sonny?
No.
You're not a real Filipino.
You gotta have an uncle named Sonny.
Well, all my uncles are in the Philippines, so.
I guarantee you one of them's Sonny.
Probably.
I guarantee you
Or they
one
go
of
by
them's gay.
Sonny.
You have one gay uncle and one uncle
There's
named
gotta at least
Sonny.
be one
I
gay.
have one gay uncle, so-
Sometimes you get lucky and the gay uncle's Sonny.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
There you go.
2 birds, 1 stone. But yeah, what was unfortunate because the top 10 got to like say something, because that's kind of like because then they're voting
your
live.
acceptance speech.
So
yeah.
what I wanted to say was this, and I thought it was important because I was like, look, I'm someone that's lived I've taken an untraditional path in life because I'm like doing all this stuff that's not the regular norm. But Filipinos tend to like force their kids into being nurses, basically.
Or lawyers.
They're basically deciding for you what to be. But in my opinion, there's tons of very talented Filipinos that could be doing a bunch of cool stuff that never have the opportunity because they're forced into doing like nursing and stuff. So I was like, why can't Filipinos have influence on the world stage? I feel like we're just as smart, just as capable as anyone else, and we deserve to be there too. We don't have to just be serving everyone all the time because like for some reason like Filipinos are always like put in like service positions.
Right.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not right. Why can't we be doing good stuff too? Not that service is bad, but we deserve to be able to do big things
Because they're
too.
loving people, bro.
I know.
That I think
Very.
that's what makes them happy.
I don't think a
These
lot of
Filipino moms and dads, like I've walked in with my buddy and him get fucked up for having a C. So
Yeah.
I've witnessed that kind of shit, and you have to make the family proud. I get that.
I don't
Because
think
most Filipinos live in poverty.
they do. It's true because the poverty mindset is very deep ingrained in the Filipino culture because the country's very poor. So poverty programming even when you have abundance, is very hard to remove your thinking. But if you don't remove you're going to pass that on to your kids, and they're going to pass it on to their kids. So even though they got abundance in their life, they're still living in
They
poverty.
even have that story they tell about that the crab pulling the other crab down.
The crabs in the bucket. So the poverty mindset is like the main thing that is not being really taught is like, hey, we got to stop having this poverty mindset in our community. We need to have an abundance mindset, and we need to be the ones that are shaping culture too. We all live in America, and we all have a fair shot at shaping culture. All of us do.
You know who's
Yeah.
doing a good job as Filipinos right now is Jumpers Jump. Carlos
Oh, really?
and Darren, they're doing a really good job right now.
Oh, that's good.
And they're not your typical Filipino, right? They're really tapped into culture.
Yeah.
They're from Canada, from Toronto. They're leading the way for Filipinos in a different field.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
very proud of them.
For those people, what are they doing?
Their podcast. He does videos.
more. We need more, in my opinion. We need other Filipinos need to see that there's more options outside of nursing.
There's a lot of talented Filipinos,
There is.
especially in like music.
When I met all these people at this, like,
And isn't Anderson Filipino?
Bruno Mars is.
Yeah, Bruno.
But when I met all these people at this pageant, I was like, wow, you guys are all so smart and so talented. You would have never known, because you're just forced to do this one little thing that really kind of shadows all your great skills. And the unfortunate thing, too, is why I'm really a big advocate for that, because you're constantly told as a kid, like, you know, if you want to be an artist or you want to do something like that, like, no, you know, you need to do this safe thing over here, so you don't put enough effort into your art to get good at it. So, of course, you're never going to be a professional. But
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But if you were, like, encouraged to put effort into that,
From the
you-
beginning.
you might have been good enough to do it professionally. But the fact that
Yeah.
you never put that effort into something you didn't want, that's why I think
But I
it's,
also think that the next generation of Filipinos
like, are different, too, yeah.
I think they understand, because people in my generation that I see as parents now and watch them, it's not the same. One of my friends is encouraging her daughter to play football. Her daughter is playing the drums, and she's like 7 or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, like I said, Filipinos are like very hardworking people, because, you know, if you live in poverty, you're like busting ass and you're doing all kinds of stuff. That work ethic is in like a lot of Filipinos. They
Yeah.
got that, like, pretty much every Filipino I met is just like, they will show up and they'll just be like doing a lot. You know what I mean? It's in the DNA and in the culture. So if you can channel that energy into like the thing that you actually want,
Mhm.
you know, it's just like you have to learn how to move that from doing something that you don't want to something that you actually want, you know, and then getting past the shaming of like the culture gives you for like, that's the funny thing too about like breaking out of the norm. Like myself, for example, I've dealt with so many issues trying to do all kinds of different stuff when I was younger. But now when these people meet me, they're like, oh, you're so cool, man. Like, that's so amazing, because they're seeing me like now more
Your final
completely-
form.
my
Your
final
success level.
form. But if they met me back when I was like had the idea in my head, they would have deterred me. It would have been like, no, man, don't do that. That's crazy. You go do this other thing, but then they'll celebrate you when you made it. So you have to just keep in mind that this applies to basically anybody doing anything, that you have to live in that no man's land for years, basically. Years of discomfort, years of looking at yourself in the mirror going, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, being like, I can't believe, you know, don't be a loser, man. Don't let down your family, all that kind of stuff, till you eventually build up enough where people can notice that.
I'm not even creative with it no more.
I know. Well,
I'm not creative no more
you
at
know,
all.
I think that's good, because I do the same thing, and you know, people are like, oh, negative self-talk. It's not even that.
Yeah, you keep that bullshit for yourself.
No.
Oh, you need to be nice.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even
Oh,
that.
you do that.
What it really is for me,
Working at fucking Gelson.
what it really is for me, it's not even just to be like, you know, talk down. It's more to not take myself so seriously. You know what I mean?
No, I'm taking myself hella serious.
No,
You're
what
gonna
I'm
fucking
but-
be great.
No, but what I
off.
mean is like, by taking yourself to, don't be so like thinking that you're like the best ever.
Oh, no,
you know,
I'm
you know
not.
what? Even if you're having success, you go like, it's not that serious though. You know what I mean? Because you're just like you're a constant work in progress. That's what I mean by it. You already know that what you're doing today, you may not even like 3 years from now. All right.
So I'm just going, hey, what did you learn? What did you learn?
I learned about guys and men and how they think, and that a lack of pussy makes them like literally go crazy.
Literally.
it's a problem.
What did you learn, my friend?
Isaac needs help. Hey, Isaac, we love you, man.
Hopefully, I'm gonna have a good.
I
song
was
for
I was
next
hoping
week.
that's gonna be on here. You know, it's unfortunate that he
He
didn't make
forgot.
it.
He said.
You know, hopefully you actually forgot for real and you didn't forget in the arms of another woman.
He's with that girl for sure.
No, I hope not though.
All right, peace.